The Grabber's back, and now he's channeling his inner Freddy Krueger. Okay. What is going on, everybody? Tom Chattelbash here, and if you love movies and TV like I do, then rest assured you are in the right place. And without further ado, let's review The Black Phone 2, which once again stars Mason Thames, Madeline McGraw, and Ethan Hawke. Now, after the horrific events of the first Black Phone film, we're reunited with Finney and Gwen, who are reeling from the events of that film. There's so much PTSD they're experiencing. They're trying to move on with their lives, and it's easier said than done. But now, making matters worse, is Gwen is having these visions, more visions like she had in that first film, that are calling her to this lake, Alpine Lake, where apparently these children were murdered. So naturally, she enlists the help of her brother Finney to go to this lake to figure out what happened to these children. And along with that visit to the lake comes the return of the Grabber, who is once again played by Ethan Hawke, who has somehow returned from the dead to haunt Gwen and Finney once again. Now, when this sequel was first announced, I really didn't know how they could continue this story. It just felt like a perfect standalone film, that first entry, and I felt like it didn't really need a sequel. But then once I saw the trailer for this film and saw that it was really delving into the supernatural and kind of channeling its inner Nightmare on Elm Street, I was so in. And I am happy to report that Black Phone 2 rules. This is not only how you do a horror sequel, this is just how you do a sequel, ladies and gentlemen. And I think this movie works largely due to the fact that we have like the same creative team here. We've got the same central performers of, Mason Thames and Madeline McGraw and Ethan Hawke. And also we have director Scott Derrickson back at the helm, co-writing the script with C. Robert Cargill. I mean, these two are like the dynamic duo. They've made so many great films together, like that first Black Phone film and, Sinister, which is my favorite horror film of all time. I mean, these two are just a match made in heaven, and Black Phone 2 just continues to showcase that. I mean, I think this is such a beautifully made horror film that is wholly enveloping and has such an immersive, haunting atmosphere, even more so than the first film, where it just feels like this is a sequel that is not only firing on all cylinders, but it's taking everything that you enjoyed about that first film, doubling down, expanding the lore and mythology, giving you a more supernatural story, giving you a more emotionally enveloping story. It's just better in virtually every way. And that is the best way I can put it. It's just better in every virtual way. I mean, the performances across the board here, they're fantastic. I mean, Mason Thames is really good here, once again playing Finney. I mean, this is someone who is now older. He's standing up for himself a lot more, but he's also isolated himself. He's numbing himself, and he's really trying to put aside the fact that he went through all this stuff. He's trying to treat it like it didn't even happen, even though deep down, he's still deeply traumatized by those events. And the way Thames plays those colors of this character is just, it's so well done, and I loved watching him in this movie and seeing the evolution of Finney as a character. And of course, Ethan Hawke is amazing as the Grabber. He's got that menacing voice, he's got that intimidating, terrifying presence that works even more so here due to some really grotesque, wonderfully grotesque makeup that he completely embraces. I mean, he's so good here as the Grabber once again. But this movie 100% belongs to Madeline McGraw. She had a minor role in the first film as Gwen, Finney's sister, but she has such an expanded role here, a way more crucial role in the sequel, and she is stunningly good in this film and absolutely the emotional anchor of this movie. I mean, this is not an easy performance to give. She has a lot riding on her performance, and she nails every single facet of it, and she's carrying so much on her shoulders, but she's making it look effortless. And 100% I cannot wait to see what she does next. She deserves way more roles after this. She's phenomenal in this movie. And speaking of the film itself, I really just love the visual aesthetic. I love the cinematography. It's just beautifully vintage. I love that these dream sequences are shot on Super 8mm. It really gives it that vintage look, and it really pulls you in and, helps really kind of sell the scares and sell the terror. And speaking of the scares and terror, there's some really good jump scares here. There's some really good build-ups, and the scares here are thoughtfully done. They're not just gimmicky. They're not, eye-roll inducing. They're really done to kind of sell the horrors of this story and also showcase some really solid camera work as well, and just some really thoughtful, dynamic camera work that makes great use of this isolated setting and really delivers the chills that you're looking for as an audience member. I mean, there were so many scenes where I just loved what the camera was doing. I loved where Derrickson was putting the camera, how he was moving it around characters, how he was handling certain reveals. It all just felt so playful and fun and meticulous, and I loved that. I just felt like he was taking his direction from that first film and he was adding some new layers to it, and I loved seeing that. But also, I really dug the story here. It's fascinating. I mean, I think the way Cargill and Derrickson flesh out the mythology here, flesh out the story and these characters is so well done because that's what a good sequel does. It takes what was established in that first film, it builds upon it, and it expands that world. It expands that mythology in a way that pulls you in even further, pulls you in even deeper, and makes you want to see more of this story and more of these characters. And this movie does that tenfold. I mean, this movie just got more and more interesting as it went on. I mean, I was glued to the screen and I was so emotionally invested in this story. And that's another thing I really loved about this movie. It's got an incredible emotional core to it. I mean, through the stories of both Finn and Gwen, you really get emotionally invested in these characters. Definitely more so for me in this sequel than in the first film, where I really cared about them and I really cared about their respective stories, their relationship with one another. I loved seeing that get explored a little bit more and just seeing more of them, seeing more layers of these characters. I really appreciated. And also, seeing more of their relationship with their father now, who's once again played by Jeremy Davies. I like that the film explores that some more as well. I mean, the only little issue I have with this movie is that it's a little bit slow at the start, where it takes a little bit too long to really get going and to start building that momentum. But once you get to this lake, once the mystery starts to unfurl, it's just great storytelling. It's great filmmaking. It's just a great time at the movies. And this is absolutely one of the best horror films of the year, and just one of the best films of the year, full stop. I will tell you this, I think this has been one of the best years for horror in recent memory, and I don't remember the last time, if ever, that I've had so many horror films break my top 10. I mean, the majority of my top 10 right now, I believe, is, horror movies. So in the end, I'm going to give Black Phone 2, I'm giving this one 4.5 stars. This is how you do a sequel, people. This satisfied me in every way I could have possibly imagined. It takes everything I loved about that first film and just makes everything I loved even better. I think this is a substantially better film than the first one. I think it's leagues better, and I loved that first film, but this is how you do a sequel right. This is how you take what was established and you make it even better and you build upon it even more. I loved Black Phone 2, and I think if you're a fan of the original, I think you're really gonna like this one. I'd be shocked if you didn't. But that's my take on the movie. It hits theaters this weekend, so if you get a chance to check it out, let me know in the comments what you thought of it. Did you love it? Did you hate it? Do you think it's just okay? Let me know down below, and until next time, everybody, I'm Tom Chattelbash, YouTube's most reliable movie critic.